guys, welcome to episode 19 of my review of the Mortal Realms magazine. A bit of an odd week this week as I have issues 19 and issue 20. Not sure why they both came at once. I'm going to review 19 now, and then I'm going to stop the video for a second and do a separate video for 20 just to make it easier to watch, just because doing two of them would probably take twice as long, strange enough. Julia is not with me this week as she is not feeling too well. The lurgy is running through my house. Fortunately, it does not seem to be the corona lurgy, and I seem to be perfectly healthy. It's just sore throats and none of the corona symptoms. Although, if we do get any of them, that's going to be fun because I only just got back to work. Right, let's look at issue 19. First thing we've got is these guys. So we have a hero on a horse, which will go with the other horses we got last week, and a couple of guys on foot. These are the three new Nighthaunt heroes. As always, the quality of models is fantastic, but as always with the Nighthaunts, they are very delicate. You're going to want a good sharp knife or a nice sharp pair of clippers to take these out of the sprue, guys. These are relatively new models, copyright 2018, so about 2 years old in the design, but the designs are fantastic. Right, let's look at, also we've got bases, 3 size bases. I believe looking at it we've got a champion and some kind of banner bearer-ish unit and a mounted guy. And quite a big mounted base, which is cool. Right, obviously the contents there, signed by Ian, Straight off it goes into Nighthaunt Knights of the Shroud, which I believe is the model we have. Let's try that again. The Knights of Shrouds, the Knights of Shrouds are spectral commanders who have been blessed with unholy power by Nagash. The leaders of the Nighthaunt armies, the strategic minds behind processions of geists that serve the great necromancer. These cruel generals lead terror. Where these cruel generals lead, terror soon follows. It goes on to explain us bits and pieces about the Knights of Shroud with another bit there from Astevan the Learned, who's been commenting regularly, and it's got a great piece of artwork there. It also states, when mounted atop a spectral steed, a Knight of Shrouds leads from the front, taking Atalia's souls with their sword of stolen hours. I'm not going to go into too much detail with that because I don't want to spoil it for you. It then goes, we've got descriptions of the steed and the weapons. The weapons are called the Sword of Stolen Hours. Upon swearing allegiance to Nagash, a Knight of Shrouds is gifted with a sword of stolen hours. These cursed blades steal the soul energies of those they slay, transferring a portion of that power back to its undead wielder. That sounds cool. And the ethereal steed. Many Knights of Shroud choose to ride into battle on spectral mounts. These skeletal creatures usually take the form of horses. Atop their ethereal steeds, the Knights of Shrouds can swiftly reach areas of the battle where their strengths are needed, issuing orders to the horde of spirits under their command. So that's pretty cool. Next, we've got the Nighthaunt Guardians of Souls. Let's look at the front page again. Yep, I think the Guardians of Souls is one of the ones we've got. Guardians of Souls wants necromancers who used amethyst death magic to further their own. Sorry, guys. That's just dust, don't worry. To further their own knowledge. Yet their arcane power was not enough to keep them alive. Nagash claimed their souls, shaping them into servants for his nightmarish procession, for his night haunt procession. And again, we've got a lot of stuff. I'm not going to read it all out to you because I don't want to spoil it for you guys. And just to tally up, that's the guy holding the stick with the lamp on them. Let's have a look. Necromancers. Necromancers are mortal wizards who wield death magic in pursuit of great power. While some serve Nagash directly, others anger the great necromancer by creating their own armies of undead creatures or trying to escape death by stealing the mortal souls of others. The Mortal Glass, which is apparently something they carry. Mortal Glass is a magical hourglass filled with grave sand. It allows the Guardian of Souls to slow time, making their enemies feel as if they're trapped in a nightmare. They can also use sorcery to distort the hourglass, allowing nearby night haunts to move toward enemy creatures at terrifying speed. So that's pretty cool as well. The Night Haunt army is reasonably fast because of all the spectral stuff allowing them to move around scenery and that. But anything that makes the infantry faster is actually going to really give you a nippy little army there. And Nightmare Lantern. The Nightmare Lantern is a ghostly beacon lit by the flames of Nagashizar, which burn at the heart of Nagash's fortress home. The mind-chilling smoke that drifts from the flames does not rise toward the heavens. Instead, it drifts towards the fields of battle. Nearby, night haunts are empowered by the wafting vapours, and the Guardian of Souls can channel the lantern so that the cold smoke snakes through the earth, calling spirits out of their graves and chilling mortals. So that's pretty cool. Then next we have Night Haunt Spirit Torments. Immortal and cruel, the twisted torments and chain gas capture, imprison, and torture the souls of those who have broken Nagash's laws. They are the jailers of Shaish and the keepers of the keys and fell guardians of the underworld. So again, that's the last of the models we get. We've got those guys there. These guys look more like minor champions than heroes. If for another reason, then you can get 3 of them. So that's again. Oh no, sorry. This is the guy that leads the 3. So again, we've got Chain Gas. Chain Gas spirits exist only to serve the spirit torment master. Though they retain memories of them all lives and painful longing to be free, they are trapped in a never-ending cycle of service, forced by every command their spirit torment gives them. And you've got captured enemy souls, or captured souls energy, sorry. The torment uses its chains and padlocks. The torment uses its chains and padlocks to capture the souls of those it slays. Even the souls of Stormcast Eternals can be bound in such a way, preventing them from returning to Azir. The soul energy can then be used by the spirit torment to heal its fellow spirits. So that's pretty cool. And it says here that spirit torments are often accompanied by chain gas. So those guys. Are another sort of unit leader or unit enhancing unit. So that's cool. Let's look at how to build. I suggest you read through this before you start building because there's lots of fiddly bits. It has how to build all 3 guys. Night Haunt Heroes. Yep, first one's the Guardians, second one's the Spirit Torment, third one is the Knight of Shrouds. And then we've got the how to paint. For this one, they're suggesting Corex White, Nihilak Oxide, Cantor Blue, Abaddon Black, Dryad Bark, and Lead Belcher. As you can see, the paint schemes are getting more complex as we get more paints, guys. So that's pretty cool. But do remember that they're all done one piece at a time, which allows you to modify, alter, or fiddle with them as you see fit. And there you can see the Nighthawk models. That's pretty cool. It's also got adding dryad bark, which we got in one of the previous episodes, to your pre-existing models, which is nifty. Then toil and time, and this is the breakdown of another battle, and this is using this is using the new, one of the newer, the new battle map. This is the old battle map. I think this is actually the old battle map. Yeah, this is the old battle map because you've got the things on the new one. But you'll need to lay your battle on a flat surface. Place your dice and rules markers. I'll try that again. Place your dice, range rulers, and tokens next to your flat map for use when you need them. Set up your terrain, night questers, sectors, spirit torment, chain rusts on top of the spaces marked on the map. The lightning is for Stormcast Eternals, and the skulls are for the Nighthawks. Okay. Oh, I see, yeah. On the edges of the mats there are lightnings and skulls to conveniently mark out your deployment zones. Okay. Got a nice little blurb there to give you a little feeling. Then we've got, again, more war scrolls there, and your reference sheet. This game, apparently we're adding command abilities to our games. So you've got your running, retreat and fly. Your running through making an attack and has roll battle shock or on your reference sheet. Nighthawk turn 1. Now it's the Nighthawk player. Oh, let's have a look. Did I miss? Weird, it says now it's the Nighthawk player's turn, and then on the Stormcast turn one it says it is the Stormcast player's turn. I think they're just so used to the Nighthawks going second. But anyway, now it is the Nighthawk player's turn. They first earn a command point. They can then move forward and run to try and get close to the Stormcast Eternal. Movement phase command ability. So this is a command ability you can use in the movement phase. Use this command ability after you make a run roll for a friendly unit that is within 6 inches of a friendly hero. So you have to be within a certain range of heroes to use command points because they're the guys giving commands. That makes sense. If you do so, the run roll is treated as being 6. So let's have a look. Yeah, it specifically says after you make a roll for a run roll for a friendly unit. So this is kind of an emergency backstop. If you make a run roll and it's 5 or 6, you probably won't want to bother. But if you make a run roll of 1 or 2, or even 3, if it's important, you can use this to get that 6 inches run to get yourself close to the enemy. Always important to consider how much the enemy can move, because obviously you can't run into combat, you have to charge, and if you run you can't charge. So it will get you closer to the enemy, but you have to consider what the enemy is going to do next. You don't want to put yourself within charge range of your enemy, but rather just move yourself close enough so that you can then move and charge next turn. Obviously, if you're flanking a unit that's already in combat, that doesn't matter. It is a tactical decision to make for yourself. Other than this, it goes roughly through here. The same way as others. We've got a playthrough there explaining it. In the hero phase, Nighthawk player gains 1 command point. And the hero phase is the first phase. First thing, you receive 1 command point at the start of the hero phase, you know that down. You use counters. Me and my mates use these little sheep, which I've got with on this chest set. I've got about 3 or 4 each. These chests are matched. His idea, he plays Undead as well, and his idea was, and this was ages before Corona, his idea was that his guys are basically sheep to be moved around by their commanders, and we use these for ages. Black sheep, white sheep. Obviously, this was the first iteration. Well, it wasn't the first iteration. This was very early on in the Age of Sigmar, where I had a few dozen groups to play with. I say very early. It was reasonably early on. Sigmar, Age of Sigmar's got a lot of early changes, which is one of the reasons why I'm collecting this to get back into it. Anyway, then to use any command ability, you spend 1 command point. Command points can be spent later in the turn or during a future turn. Once it is spent, remove the command point from your notes. Command abilities specify when they can be used. You can use the same command ability more than once in each phase if you have enough command points. So you've got the say you've been waiting 2 turns, you've got 2 little snacky command points. You spend 1 to use 1 unit move. You spend 1 to move 1 unit at the double, and then another unit rolls low. You spend the second one to move that unit. That's totally legit. Or you can spend 1 in one turn and 1 in the other turn. So they're pretty nifty. I'm just going to read through the playthrough because that makes it even clearer. In the hero phase, the Nighthorn player gains 1 command point. In the movement phase, the Nighthorn player decides to move the chain rasps forward and have them run. The Nighthorn player makes a run roll but rolls a 2. As the chain rasps are within 6 inches of a hero, the Spirit Torment, they use the at the double command ability. And again, the way this is written, you're within 6 inches of the hero at the beginning, or rather at the point at which you use the ability. You don't have to end 6 inches within 6 inches of the hero. As you were there when you gave the order, you don't need to be there when you finish doing it. You reduce your mark on points by 1, and at the double turns the 2 into a 6. The chain rasps can now move 12. Obviously that's their standard movement plus their 6 inches. Stormcast turn. It is the Stormcast turn. They first earn a command point. Then they can move their units forward and attempt to charge towards the Nighthorn. The Stormcast charge phase command ability, it's in the charge phase, is forward to victory. Use this command ability after you make a charge roll for a friendly unit that is within 6 of a friendly hero. If you do so, re-roll the charge roll. So again, that's another pretty powerful one. A lot of the armies have command things assigned specifically to the army, but there's no reason why you can't swap around and try these out with each army in this one. It does mean that one army at this point is more manoeuvrable, but the other army is more likely to get charges in. Again, I'm going to read the hero phase bit here. Because the Stormcast player has a hero, they can use command abilities by spending command points. Oh, you have to have a hero to have command points. If you don't have a hero, there's no one to command. To use any command ability, they must spend 1 command point. I suspect there may be more expensive command abilities, but yeah, that's what it says here. Command points can be spent later. I don't know why I've got that in my ear. That was stuck in my ear from ages ago. Completely forgot it was there. It can be spent later in the turn or during a future turn. Once it is spent, remove the command point from your notes. So again, same thing. So again, I'm going to go through the playthrough here because it makes it even clearer. In the hero phase, the Stormcast player gains a command point. In the movement phase, the Stormcast player moves their units forward. In the charge phase, the Secretors attempt to charge the chain rasps. Needing an 11, they roll a 7 and fail. As the Secretors are within 6 inches of a hero, the Stormcast player uses forward to victory. They reduce their command points by 1. The Storm class player re-rolls their charge roll but only scores an 8 and still fails. That's not a prediction, that's just giving you an example of how that would work. So that's pretty cool, that's pretty nifty. Next we've got Nighthorn turn 2, all the same stuff, but this time they've got a Battle Shock phase ability called Inspiring Presence. Each turn you're getting a different ability, and again there's no reason why you can't muck about, swap them about, use them for different armies at different points in the game when you want to. Obviously probably easiest to do it this way, but Nighthorn turn 2, they're getting Inspiring Presence. Use this command ability at the start of the Battle Shock phase. If you do so, pick a friendly unit that is within 6 inches of a friendly hero. That unit does not have to take a Battle Shock test. That's pretty hench. If you think how much damage Stormcast Eternals do and what happens when you do Battle Shock tests, that is going to keep a lot of models on the board for you. So that is pretty good there. And again, I'm going to go through the playthrough because I've done all the playthroughs so far. Well, actually, you know what? I'm not going to go through all the playthrough. I'm going to skip to the relevant bit. Anyway, the Chain Rasps had to take a Battle Shock test. Since they are within 6 inches of the Spirit Torment, the Nighthorn player gets to use the Inspiring Presence command ability. Reduce their command points by 1. The Chain Rasps now do not have to take a Battle Shock test. So again, that's pretty hench. And there is no turn 2 for... Did I miss turn 1? Is there a page here I'm missing? The Chain Rasps get 2 back. Nope. It really looks like I'm missing a page because I've got turn 1 for the Nighthorns, turn 1 for the Stormcast, and then turn 2 for the Nighthorns, and then Enter the Realm of Life. No turn 2 for the Stormcasts. It looks like I should have a Stormcast Eternal turn, particularly as it says on the turn 1 of the Nighthorns. Now it is the Nighthorn player's turn, but if I'll just show you just in case you think I got it wrong. Nighthorns, prior page, reference sheet. Definitely not a page there. Oh well. But as I said, there's no reason you can't muck about in the second turn, do it the other way around, or just all have access to the abilities and do what you want. It's entirely up to you guys. Here we go. Enter the Realm of Life from issue 21. This issue comes with a new battle mat for you to use in your games of Age of Sigmar. Yeah, let's talk about issue 21, which we did get new battle mat. This new battle mat is covered with a highly detailed printed terrain, showing you the remains of an ancient underground ruin. From issue 21 onwards, I see what you mean, yeah. That's weird. This issue doesn't contain a battle mat. And we got a battle mat last issue. This is a confusing end page. Yeah. I'm sure this was in issue 18. Anyway, from issue 21 onwards, you will take your first steps into the realm of life, fighting battles in its thick, unforgiving jungles. Prepare to march through the realm gate and begin the fight to save Giran from the Night Haunt procession. So that's pretty nifty. It's got 2 sides, and it does connect to the issue 4 battle mat on its reverse side, on its Dexter side. Although the issue 4 battle mat didn't have the same side. So one side is the Realm of Life, the other side is more like the GW battle mat, and works in the same way as the battle mat we got from issue 4, and the same way as the battle mat. Connects in the same way as the battle mats we got from 40k Conquest. In that it builds a larger battle mat, and eventually all 3 of these mats, well, 3. Eventually there'll probably be a 3rd mat, and you'll be able to build a reasonably large battle mat, which is pretty cool, especially considering that GW are now looking at more reasonably sized boards. If you don't know what I'm talking about, if you don't know what I'm talking about, look up online. The newest edition of 40k, which is 9th edition, is talking a lot about using smaller boards. I think that's just GW have realised that the small board games are very popular, primarily because a lot of people these days don't have space for a 6x4 table in the house. I don't. I have some reasonably large rooms, but I couldn't fit. I couldn't justify a gaming room, unfortunately. I tried, but yeah, I couldn't. Oh boy, did I try. But yeah, as my wife is interjecting, the children need bedrooms. Bloody children. I mean, you know, he's 4 years old. Surely it's time for him to move out and stand on his own 2 feet. Anyway, GW are really leaning towards more reasonably sized barrel mats at the moment. So hopefully that will hopefully that'll tie in with a lot of this. So that's pretty cool. Now I'm going to stop, pretend I'm doing an entirely new issue, and review issue 20. See you in either a few minutes or a week if you want to leave it that long. Hi guys, hope you enjoyed that video, and if you did, remember to like and subscribe to my channel. I'm also on Facebook and Twitter. Not sure why, but I am. So if you like it, see me there, and please tell your friends. Thanks very much. Bye.